Welcome back to another episode of BarryTsGarage. There's two guys back there, Don and Ed. They're struggling a little bit. I'm going to see if I can break into the situation and get a story out of what they're doing. Definitely something a little different, which is often the case with Ed, but a little bit of a struggle, but we'll see if we can get them to take a break from us and tell us what's going on. Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate all of you that follow along.
Turn around this side.
The struggle is real. Got it.
The lifter would stay down, it would be all right. That one out? No. It's up on the cam. I think there's something. Here's a fat one. Get it back here. Okay. Here's the camshaft. It's quite long. It's got some nice shiny pointed lobes. So these pointed lobes, like the valve opens real quick and closes real quick.
So short duration.
Short duration, so idles real smooth.
Oh.
And at the same time, a short duration like this builds more compression in idle. So then in idle, it has more compression and it gives you low end power. These motors had a lot of power, almost from idle all the way up.
No kidding.
Yeah. And I'll clean this a little bit, but I will not wash it. I won't wash it in solvent because it's oil soaked. It's a cast iron camshaft. And I'm sure it's completely soaked with oil like a sponge.
Ah.
And if you would wash this with some kind of a solvent, you'll coat these lobes with solvent. And then the new oil won't stick to it.
Wow.
If it's so coated with solvent. So you have to get the solvent off. So the new oil you're going to change the oil, will soak to it. So without that, it may take the cam lobe right off.
Wow, I would never thought of that.
Yeah.
So you're actually doing them a big favor
For not cleaning. I will not. There's a few parts in the motor I won't wash with solvent.
Okay.
It's senseless, on people.
Uh-huh.
But it's clean. It's not gaudy. It's not built up on it because it's working.
And the lobes are pretty good, huh?
It's like new, yeah.
Let's see, yeah.
They're all like brand new, yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in good shape.
Yeah, it's like new. The teeth on the gear here, the oil, that runs the oil pump.
Okay.
And the distributor. It's like brand new, yeah.
Yeah, so
after all these miles.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, take care of it.
Yeah, I love it. When's the last time you took one of these apart, one of these engines?
I worked on.
It's been a while.
I started working on these. This is a Chrysler motor.
Right. Okay.
I first worked on these
the
day I got out of high school.
Is that right? That's been a little while.
Monday morning. The day I got back. I went to work for the Chrysler dealer, Dodge dealer.
Okay.
In Edgerton, Ohio. I've told that story before because I could have went to work for the mowing roads, driving a tractor, mowing the grass along the highway.
Yeah.
For $2.35 an hour. They said because I was red-haired, light complected, they'd actually put an umbrella on my tractor.
Did they really?
But then the Dodge dealer told me he would give me a job I was kind of known to be knowing what I was doing mechanically, I guess. But he said he'd pay me $1 an hour. So I decided to take the job at the Dodge dealer for $1 an hour. I said, someday I'll own my own garage, but I'll never own that highway.
That's a really good line. I love it.
So, it's a Chrysler motor.
It's okay.
It's got all kinds of weird stuff to it. It's fairly simple, but even though it's got some things that you have to take this off and then get that off and this off and that off and things like that.
So you have to do things in a little different order,
yeah,
huh?
a little different order, yeah, to get the valves out and get the springs out of them and stuff like this, and actually get it apart. It's fairly simple once you get it all tore apart. And without them, let me put these over here.
So which engine is this?
This is a 230 cubic inch.
230.
Chrysler motor from 1950, 52, somewhere in there, 53.
Uh-huh.
Right up to 59. They made a little bigger one, 50, and then they made this is a 24-inch motor. Everything, all the specifications is 24-inch head gasket.
Really?
24-inch something else, and then and the other was about 2 inches longer. It was a Chrysler motor, actually a Chrysler DeSoto motor. It was 2 inches longer.
Okay, so this would be more for a Dodge, maybe.
Yeah, small Dodge car.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Or maybe a Plymouth.
Yeah, Plymouth. Yeah, and then they put them in little pickup trucks for the city truck.
Oh.
Oh yeah, city trucks, little delivery trucks, and all kinds of things. They put them in everything.
And I guess this was before they had the Slant Six. This was
yes.
Okay.
Slant Six came out in 1960.
Uh-huh.
And in 1960, then basically late '59, I did go to Detroit, sponsored by that Dodge dealer, and we went to we were there a couple of weeks, as I remember. Took classes on the Slant Six,
Uh-huh.
the aluminum transmission, and the gear reduction starter. So I know how to tear them all apart, and I still have my manuals.
Do you really?
I think I have my instructor's name. He's probably not around anymore.
Right.
So we had the instructor's name with those classes.
Uh-huh.
So that was a big deal. All those.
Yeah, that was real high engineering times, wasn't it?
That was. And all three of those things came on. That's a big thing for Chrysler.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was a big transition time.
Big transmission, almost from like Ford from Flatheads to the overhead valve motor.
Right.
That was a big transition.
Yep.
Of course, they went from overhead. It's not too big from overhead valve motor into the motors they have today.
Right.
It's just a chain-driven motor like Ford has today.
Sure.
It's one of the newer motors, yeah. Other than that, the big transition was from Flatheads to the V8s.
Yeah.
So the overhead valve, I mean, yeah.
So what's the story? How did you end up working on this?
Well, this is
one?
a Continental. I mean, it's a Chrysler motor. It's out of a tow motor, a Tug, yeah.
Yes.
So that's what this is out of.
Oh.
Chrysler's thrown a lot in that, and I don't know why the people who made the Tug chose Chrysler over Continental. Continental is almost the same motor, but it is different.
Okay.
And this has this is really a heavy-duty motor. And I would think that, without checking this, I think this is the first time this motor's ever been tore apart.
No way.
Yeah, because it's just a Tug. You didn't order it down the highway or anything. You just used it around the airport and dig things like that. It really wasn't. It's not out of a forklift. I know it's out of a Tug because the guy I know owns this.
Okay.
So he took it apart, took it out of the Tug, and it smoked. And there's a couple of reasons why he took it out. And we'll get to that in just a couple of seconds,
okay.
Which is difficult. So anyways, he just took it out and says, "Here, would you overhaul?" And I said, "Well, I'll bring it over one of these days when I get some time." He just brought it over a couple of days ago. And I said, "Well, let me tear it apart and get processed and cleaning the parts and looking to see what kind of shape it's in." And it's really in good shape.
Is it?
It is. I think we're going to put standard bearings back in it.
Wow.
We won't turn the crank.
That's impressive.
The cam looks like brand new.
Wow.
The cam and lifters, and of course the valves are all dirty.
Sure.
From just running short distance. He probably ran it 15 minutes and 15 minutes, as he owns it now, 15 minutes for once a month right now. So anyways.
So if the bores are in good shape, why was it
It's not
smoking?
bored. It needs to be bored out.
Oh, it does?
Yeah,
Okay.
Of course, the rings wore right out.
Oh, I see. So the rings were gone, but the...
Yeah.
Okay.
It's got a funny looking piston here. It actually has 4 rings on it. 2 oil rings and 2 compression rings.
Interesting.
It looks like an original piston here with the markings on it. And again, I think it's original. There's no scar marks on it or anything like that because it was never, you know, really
look at that.
It looks nice.
The skirt wear is almost nothing.
Yeah.
That's really
I haven't measured anything and looked at it to see if it's just, but I would think it's never been overhauled.
So were the rings all free on all the pistons?
Oh, yeah, it's all free, yeah.
Okay.
It just has a big groove in it. And
yeah.
A big ridge in the top of the piston where it was just wore out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So is this going back in the tug?
Timing chain was really loose.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was just floppy and things like this. And we can buy pistons and stuff for it. I looked last night, and they're available. And I have some friends. I have a friend in Lansing, Michigan, and one up in Nevada. Northern Nevada has a lot of parts, and I'm sure they have pistons and rings and stuff for it.
Tell the people at home, what causes a timing chain to get loose?
Well, it's just the camshaft is pulling all the time. And to rotate the valves. Yeah. There's a lot of spring pressure on those, and it has to rotate those springs and stuff, and that's just to move the valves up and down. That's the only reason why. It is a chain.
All the little links, they all slowly wear out, bit, right?
Yeah, just quit sloppy and wear out. Pretty soon it gets stretches and it's wore out. That's all. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, it's pretty flimsy. Timing chain's pretty flimsy.
I see.
Yeah, it's just kind of,
Yeah.
Normally they would stand up. A good one would probably stand up like this.
Yeah. So you're still able to find a new timing chain?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay.
They made so many of these motors, and there's a lot of vehicles around with this same motor in it because they made it for so many years.
Interesting. Okay.
There is a problem with it.
Okay.
And we'll get to that. We might as well talk to it right now.
Okay.
So if you come around here.
All right.
In here is a water tube.
Yeah. That looks pretty rough, doesn't it?
Yeah. That water tube is this shape right here. And it goes clear back the length of the motor.
Really? It goes all the way back?
All the way back.
Apparently 2 feet.
2 feet. I looked last night and I could buy a new one for $73.
Really?
Yeah. So, okay. So then, if you don't have this water tube here, which I'll get a screwdriver here and we'll play with it a little bit. It's all crunched up.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty crusty, all right.
The water goes in this hole and comes out here.
Okay.
It's the same hole. So if this water tube is not here, the water goes around and around here and never cools the rest of the motor.
Yeah, so the water's supposed to be sent all the way to the back.
All the way
back. And then come back in the tube, right?
Yes. And then this tube, this long, is like a shield you put a knife in.
Oh, it's pointed. Like a sheath, yeah, okay.
It stops at the other end. And it has holes in it for each valve.
Oh.
So it squirts water on each valve up through there. That's what it's for. It's a water distribution tube. And the manual says you're supposed, if you have a car like this, you're supposed to change them every 2 years because they rot out. They're tin.
So that's a maintenance item.
Oh, yes. You're supposed to take the radiator out of your car and take the water pump off and pull that out of there and change it every 2 years.
That's wild.
If you don't, now it rots off. How are you going to get it out of there?
Wow.
So we probably will not be able to get this out of here. I just can't think.
It looks pretty rough.
Let me get a.
Well, Don, don't run from the camera. One of these days you're going to be you're going to become a big star.
I pushed it over against the vise.
I had it there.
Oh, did I? That's me.
Question is, for people who are wondering, why is he drilling a hole in this block? So did you find anything back there?
There's a little piece of something back in there.
Yeah, there's a little piece of something if I can make it out.
Get my light.
Oh yeah, there's definitely something there. Look at that. Boy, you can see how chewed up that is.
I think you're going to have to collapse it, like you said.
I think I'm going to have to. I think just again, I probably should just take the drill and drill right in it here on this end and just tear it up.
Yeah.
Over again. Yeah, they're brass. They'll probably spin.
Oh.
They want that loose. See, they're stuck in. I took a chisel gun and they're loose, but that's what made. I don't know where we can. Where are we at from the freeze plugs? We're on the other side of the cylinder on the freeze plugs, all. In this hole right here.
Okay, actually,
You can't see in there.
can't really see it, but that's where it is, huh?
Yeah, that's where they're at. Yeah.
There it is.
Well, I thought it went in the air.
If in doubt, take the freeze plugs out.
It's solid.
It's solid back there?
Yeah.
Huh. A lot of rust came out through there.
Yeah, it's probably the bottom of the block's full of rust. Because then circulation wasn't good.
Right. And that's really the bottom line of why this thing's coming apart. Whoa.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing in it.
It's not bad.
You want that?
Yeah, except it's packed. Wow.
The whole bottom of the block is full of dirt. That's
Right.
because of driving it slow. See, driving it slow and not going 60, 70 miles an hour down the road where all the water gets circulated.
So the water pump's barely turning.
Yes. And so the settlement and any kind of dirt, not necessarily to drive it in the dirt, out in the dirt field or anything.
Right.
Just stuff makes dirt.
Sure.
Yeah. The whole bottom of the block is
Wow, it's just packed full.
full. Yeah, you could just drive it in there.
Wow.
So the whole bottom of the block's full of dirt.
Is this also a freeze plug back here you can get
Yeah,
up?
that's a cam plug.
A cam plug, right.
Yeah, we could drive that out, yeah.
I see.
You're making me work harder than I normally do.
Well, you know what? I'm going to bail out here pretty soon so you can go back to normal speed. Look at that. More of the same.
Hate to make a mess here, but we can.
If you don't mind making a mess, we'll see what's in there. I wonder if the cooling system is a little bit messed up. Just wondering.
It's all good.
It's coming out here now.
Yeah, I saw that.
It'll come out everywhere now.
Yeah, it's big. He loosened up the sand volcano, the rust volcano. Okay.
Bigger hole in there, you
I
think?
think so. Bigger you can get it.
What's this? Oh, you got a piece of it. Yes, you do. Is it small enough to pull out of there?
Yeah.
You should have the satisfaction of getting a hold of it.
The back of a 24-inch water delivery pipe.
We're starting to understand the fight that you can get into trying to fix this stuff.
This ain't cheap.
No, it's not cheap.
No, it's not cheap.
Okay. This isn't a freebie?
This is not a freebie, yeah. Maybe we better record this for evidence of our bill.
Yeah, that's right. Like, see how much work this is.
Look at that.
Wow. Uh-oh.
I
The
lost it.
snake hid back in its hole there. Uh-huh.
It's gonna be fun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there it is.
One.
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 You got 3/4 of an inch out of 2 feet.
Almost done.
Yeah, that's what you end up doing. There it is.
Yeah. Look at that. Yeah, that's what you're
24
fighting.
inches of that. We'll be here a couple minutes.
I'll come back in 2 days when you're done.
Yeah.
Better stand back.
Yeah, stand way back.
Yeah. You need the fish eye.